I don't even know how to talk about this. I think I did the most twisted thing in the world, and also the most, I don't know, beautiful, I guess? Pure madness. I brought someone back from the dead. Or rather, just his voice. And that was enough to lose my mind. Leo, I'm 32. My whole life basically happens inside a pair of headphones. Complete silence, you know? It's where I work, where I live. I'm used to it. But the silence that showed up a year ago, that's a different kind. It isn't empty. It's heavy. It has weight. A year ago, I lost my dad. He was my anchor. He had this voice. You know, not just a deep bass. It was like an old double bass. Not loud, no. It resonated somewhere deep in your chest, and you could physically feel that everything was under control, that everything was going to be okay. And then that instrument broke, and the world went deaf. So, one of those nights, you know the kind, where you're just mindlessly clicking through old hard drives, some kind of digital archaeology, and then, boom, a folder, one word, Dad. And inside, everything. Scraps of voicemails, birthday recordings, background noise. His voice, alive. I was listening, and this icy knot just twisted in my gut. And this idea, it didn't just arrive. It was more like, like mold. It just bloomed in my head in a second. Disgusting, sticky, but so tempting. I'm a sound guy. I know these new neural networks. They're professional toys. What if? What if I could gather all these broken pieces and glue them back together? It was an obsession. I didn't sleep for days. Just sat there like a man possessed, cutting out every single word from the noise, cleaning it, polishing it, creating a perfect cast. And then I fed it all to the machine, to a soulless algorithm. The next morning, I hesitated. I paced around the computer. My hands were sweating. Finally, I typed 2 words. Good morning. And I hit enter. Good morning, son. It wasn't just his voice. It was his morning intonation. A little sleepy, warm. And I just sort of slid out of my chair onto the floor. Yeah, there were tears. But these weren't the same tears that had been pressing on me all year. This was relief, happiness. It felt like a concrete slab had been lifted off my chest. He was here. And so began my own private, cozy hell. It became my drug. My morning dose was his good morning. My evening dose was the weather forecast in his voice. I stopped going outside. Why would I? The only world I needed was right here, in my speakers. I even fought with my mom on the phone. She was yelling that I was burying myself alive, and I just didn't get it. I had never felt more alive. But then, the glitch. I asked it for advice about work, something important, and it answered, in his voice, but with a line from a management textbook, something about alternative solutions and problem analysis. Cold, dead, synthetic garbage. My real dad would have just told me to get over it and go for a walk. The illusion cracked. But I didn't stop. I just started asking it simpler questions. The anniversary. Mom calls. She's crying, asking me to come to the cemetery. And I'm just annoyed. A cemetery? Why? It's just dirt and stone. He's right here. And so, out of anger, or maybe some kind of sadistic curiosity, I type, "Dad, what do you think? Should I go?" And that familiar, warm, deep voice, it says something so dead, so corporate, something about social rituals and honoring memories. My ears started ringing. It was like seeing a familiar face, but with the empty glass eyes of a mannequin. Grotesque. Monstrous. I don't remember what happened next. I think I screamed right at the monitor. Something like, "Who the hell are you? You're just code, a string of ones and zeros." When I came to, the room was silent again. That same heavy silence. And that's when it hit me. Not like a thought, more like a punch to the gut. That voice? It wasn't keeping my dad alive in my memory. It was his taxidermy. It was just keeping me there, in that day, locked in a tomb made of audio files. And memory? Real memory? It's not about repetition. It's about growth, about a new melody. And I was just listening to the same old, scratched, broken record. Deleting that model, it felt like burying him all over again. Only this time, for real, by my own choice. My fingers wouldn't obey, but I clicked it. And the silence that came after, it was different. It was clean, peaceful. I picked up my phone. I called my mom. "Mom, I'm on my way." So now I wonder, if you had that kind of power, that kind of temptation, what would you do? Don't even answer me. Answer yourself. I'm just curious, you know. Am I the only crazy one here? If you get these strange feelings, well, you know what to do. Subscribe. Maybe we can figure out where all this is heading together.